Ball this afternoon, a Star Channel first. It'll be the Lake County Vikings up against the Gary Golden Bears. Welcome to North Chicago, everyone. I'm Dan Capasso along with Chip Egan, our color guard out there presenting the colors. We're about ready for the national anthem. And Chip, looking forward to our first semi-pro game today.
Should be fun, you know. We've done the high school games for a little while, and now we step it up and take a look at a bunch of guys that enjoy coming out. The intensity level picks up when they want to play here on Saturday afternoons, but a bunch of guys out just having a little fun, trying to extend careers that probably ended after college.
Well, we talked to some of the players the other night, and these guys are serious about their football. You know, you don't come out to practice 3 times a week if you don't want to go hit somebody, and I think that's the game plan here.
It sure is. They said that intensity really picks up come game time, and they're really looking forward to this. They have a lot of fun, and that's why they do it.
All right, our nation's national anthem. Color guard being presented by the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts of Troop and Pack 2 of Waukegan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join us in the singing of our national anthem.
Our nation's national anthem. Once again, the colors were posted by the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts of Troop and Pack 2. Carrying the American flag was Chris Brown. The Boy Scout flag was manned by Steve Brown, and the Cub Scout flag is Santo Soto. And Chip Egan, we're about ready for semi-pro football. Our first venture into this area. The Vikings are fired up. They'll come out in the purple and white today. The Gary Golden Bears seem to be a little short on numbers today. A lot of players going both ways.
Well, you know, it comes down to what happens when you get in the semi-pro league. When we had a chance to interview some of the players, we got out to one of the practices. They said a lot of times, because they work, a lot of the people have full-time jobs. It really cuts into some of the playing time, and sometimes they miss practices, sometimes they miss games, and I think that's the situation with the Gary Golden Bears, is they probably have some people that are out working or for some other reason just can't make it out to the game tonight.
That's a pretty good hike from Gary. Both teams coming in with 1 win.
That's true, especially the Vikings with a 1-2 record. It's been recorded that they were 1-3. However, it's 1-2. They suffered a 15-14 loss to St. Louis, but it's not counted in the standings because the rules by which the officials used during that game were different than the league rules. The league plays by NFL, or the professional rules, and I guess during that game in St. Louis, they went by high school rules. So I think that changed it around, and officials are saying that the loss will not count against the Vikings. They knocked off St. Louis in the first game 32-6, and then lost to Milwaukee 3-0, and Racine 33-23. So the Vikings we're expecting some good offensive output. They've been in the ball games for a group that at times can't have all their people together at one time, and really have done a pretty good job when they get the people out here to play.
We're looking at the Gary Golden Bears being introduced right now. You know, last night we were out at North Chicago High School in a North Suburban Conference prep battle, and the winds were howling. The effect of Hurricane Hugo got out North Chicago way, but tonight, or rather this afternoon, the winds have died down, and it'll be a chance for Mike Mundy to go to the air. Monday can put it up.
Sure can. 5'11", 190 pounds, and we're expecting some big things out of him. He's from Grand Rapids, Michigan, went to Michigan State University, and we'll be looking forward to seeing what he can do putting that football in the air.
All right, the Lake County Vikings being introduced now, and let's bring them out along with our PA announcer.
265 pounds, Alan Plack.
Alan Plack will start at defensive end. He's 6'2", 262 out of Lake Forest.
Number
The tackle will be Roger Ivy, 6'4", 240 from Highland Park.
Another defensive tackle. Todd Crayley.
Todd Cray will start at defensive tackle, number 60.
At defensive end, number 76.
Out around late.
185 pounds, Randy Jones.
Randy Jones, a defensive end, 6'3", 185-pounder, a local boy from North Chicago High School. Played his college ball at Nebraska.
Bob Maynard.
Bob Maynard, number 44, the linebacker, 6', 220 out of Evanston.
25, number 53, Tad Slowick.
Tad Slowick from nearby Skokie, and he was quite a high school player.
Number 47, 6 feet, 205 pounds, Mel Graham.
Mel Graham, number 47, 6', 205-pounder from Miami, Florida.
Number 20, Steve Nash.
Steve Nash, 6'1", 195-pounder, went to Von Steuben High School, played college ball at nearby Triton.
Bob Eckers.
Bob Ackers, a safety, 6'3", 190 out of Round Lake, played at North Central in Naperville.
6 feet, 200 pounds, number 21, Michael Wade.
Michael Wade at the corner, North Chicago product. He'll be a home favorite. Played his football for the Cyclones of Iowa State. And here's a man to keep an eye on. Number 45 is Steve Borzik, a safety, a 5'10", 180-pounder out of Waukegan. Played his high school ball at East. Borzik leads the league in interceptions with 5, and he said, as we talked to him during this week, Chip, that was his goal, to win the interception category in this league.
It'll be fun to watch what he's going to do this afternoon. It all depends on what the Golden Bears are going to do offensively, but he said he was looking to increase his interception output, and it'll be entertaining to see what he can do today in that defensive backfield.
Well, we talked to the coaching staff from the Vikings, and they said that Mr. Borzik was one of the hardest working players, hadn't missed a practice, and he comes to play every week.
That comes as credit to him, too, because we said with a lot of the players having the full-time jobs and sometimes not being able to make all the practices, it's really a plus for him to be able to come to all of them.
Well, Al Clark, the head coach for the Vikings, and he whips this team into a frenzy. We talked to him. He is quite a coach, and he really loves his position as the head coach. Of course, he's the athletic director at North Chicago, and he says his life is the kids. He really gets into this.
Sure does, and this is a nice way to just keep going and coaching, and he really gets intense before the game, and he says his players like it, and that from him, they pick up as well and carry it out onto the field. So we'll see what they can do this afternoon.
Flea Johnson will be deep, along with Dale Jackson for the Vikings. The Golden Bears will boot, and we are underway from North Chicago High School with semi-pro football. The punt will be taken by one of the upmen, Bob Ackers. Ackers on his feet at the 30-yard line, taken down at about the 32, where the Vikings will go to work behind their quarterback, Mike Mundy, number 7. In the backfield, 24, Mike Eldridge, along with Jerry Bay, the tailback. Flea Johnson will be at a wide receiver. Rick Starosta, the team captain and general manager, number 88, will be at a tight end. And Daryl Harden, a receiver, number 87. Mike Hilty will be over center today. And here come the Vikings on 1st and 10. Flea Johnson will split wide to the right. Rick Starosta will go to the left. Tony Durka will be in the slot left. And right away we see the flags fly.
Gonna say that one took a little while, and that's why get the delay of game penalty. Push it back.
5-yard penalty, delay of game against the Vikings.
The Lake County Vikings looking much like the Minnesota Vikings in their intimidating purple. Mike Mundy now on 1st and 15 after the penalty. Motion and Flea Johnson to the top. And the first call of the ball game go to Jerry Bay. Jerry Bay thundering ahead for a gain of about 7 back to the 32-yard line. So Bay gets the call on the initial carry and shows a good drive. Took it down about 9 yards.
Nice pickup, went over the left side of the offensive line and was able to break a couple of tackles and go through. Nice piece of running. Bay, as we talked about, went to Western Illinois University.
Flea Johnson to the near side now. On second down, let's call it 7. Viking back shifting into the I, Eldridge and Bay. Mundy heading off now to Bay. Looked like a mix-up in the backfield, and no gain on the play.
Just kind of got a little mixed up there. Don't know whose fault that was. As soon as Mundy turned right around, he ran into his running back, and that's what caused the problems there. And that's what can happen sometimes when you're not able to make, say, all the practices, like some of the problems that the teams run into. And we might see a lot of that this afternoon.
Andy Reeves will split wide left this play. We're looking at a 3rd and 7 situation. Mundy will take the snap from the shotgun. Mundy to throw. Mike Mundy will keep and get the first down and then some. Well, the receivers were well covered, so Mike was heads up, took it to the flag. He knew where it was, and he gained that first down, Chip.
Nice job when he noticed that the pocket was also closing in, too, and nobody open. He decided to take off to his left, and nice piece of running to pick up that first down. There's his mobility. We're looking to see what kind of arm strength he has, but we saw him run when we were out there at the practice, and he looked pretty good, and he showed it right there on that play.
Lee Jeffrey Harris on the tackle, and the Lake County Vikings with a first down situation now at midfield. Vikings on the drive. Viking back shifting into the I. Eldridge and Bay. The motion man is Flea Johnson to the top. The handoff will go to Bay. Bay spinning ahead, peels off a tackler. Bay to the outside and gained another first down. Tackled once again by Lee Jeffrey Harris, number 84. He's been busy early today.
Well, Keith Alexander had the first shot at him, and he was able to break right off that tackle and keep moving up for a couple of yards. It looked like Alexander might have grabbed him for only about a 2-yard gain, but a nice piece of running by Bay. Kept his legs moving and picked up a couple extra yards.
First down 10, Lake County Vikings looking to get their second win of the season against 2 losses, looking to even up at 500. Their last home game here from North Chicago High School. Back shifting in the I, 2 receivers in the near side. Rick Starosta to the top. And it'll be Bay. Bay with a good lead block. Kind of played off the man in front, Tony Wilson. And Bay gained about 6 yards on the play.
Mike Boswell was able to grab him around his ankle, and looked like Bay just dragged him for a couple of yards too. It looked like they had him down below at the ankles, which might have stopped him, but he just kept tugging him along and was able to pick up another yard.
Vince DeVos has checked into the Lake County lineup. Mundy shifts his back into the I once again. Flea Johnson to the left. Lake County needs 5 yards to pick up the first. And the give is to DeVos, who is close to that first down. So Vince DeVos, the halfback, 5'11", 195-pounder, right here from North Chicago. He went and played his college ball at Tennessee.
And that's where you've seen some of the players come out of some big universities. When we went down the schedule, you've had some people from Iowa State, Michigan, Nebraska. There, DeVos from Tennessee. So some of the players on this team going to some pretty prestigious universities with the football programs.
Tony Durka, the receiver, split wide to the left. Lee Johnson over there as well. Rick Starosta to the near side. Mundy to throw. Flags in the air. Mundy looking deep, and it's almost intercepted. Intended receiver on the play was Tony Durka, and the pass was broken up by Mike Britton.
Usually where holding is. Well, we got motion instead.
9:04 left in the first quarter of play here from North Chicago High School. If you just joined us and you think that some of these players look pretty big for a Star Channel prep game, well, you hit it on the head. This is semi-pro football. Some of these players have flirted with the professional ranks. Rick Starosta was quite a college football player. He flirted with stardom with Miami. Right now the situation will be a 3rd and 7. Lake County Vikings out of the huddle. This is their first season in existence. Mundy from the shotgun. With some time, Mundy unloads. Has Bay. Jerry Bay to the middle now, spinning past the first down. So Jerry Bay takes the grab and gains some yards. On the tackle for the Gary Golden Bears was Mike Heredos.
And Bay made a nice spin move to get away from Alexander, too. As soon as he got it, he avoided one tackle, and it came out, and Alexander hit him. It made a nice spin move back towards the outside and was able to move out and break that tackle and pick up a couple of extra yards. And if I'm not mistaken, Bay was also one that flirted a little bit with the professional ranks tryouts, I believe, with Tampa Bay. So some guys having a lot of experience moving that far up, and for them, even if you can't make it in professionals, this is a great opportunity to just keep playing, and that's why they do it. They love the game, and they come out and play.
Andy Reeves has checked in at a wide receiver. This will be Bay. Kind of a mixed-up attempt at a draw, it would appear.
Yeah, it's the second time we've seen Mundy and Bay have problems in the backfield, and like we said, we kind of expected that a little bit when you have people sometimes missing practice or coming late to them. Vikings are trying to work that out, too, hopefully as the course of the season moves on, because they're looking to go towards the championships, which I believe are in New York, towards the end of the season.
Ray Jones into the Viking lineup, number 82, splits to the near side along with Flea Johnson. Out of the I backfield on 2nd and 11. Now they shift in the backfield. Mundy to throw. Mundy being pursued. Mundy in the end zone. Has his man, Ray Jones, for the touchdown. So Mundy rolling to his right. Finds Ray Jones in the corner. Flea Johnson was out there with him, kind of provided a screen, if you will. And the Vikings are on the board.
Well, as soon as Mundy took off out of the pocket, moved to his right, then the pursuit came, and I think some of the defenders might have taken off the receiver and tried to come up thinking Mundy was going to run, and that allowed him to get open. There were two receivers down there in the corner of the end zone, so it was almost throwing it up, and you were assured of somebody on your team coming down with it. And for the Vikings, Ray Johnson able to come in with the touchdown.
Rick Starosta will hold on the extra point. And it's blocked. Looks like Darrell Watson got in to knock that one down. Chris Fredericks, the kicker. And with 7:13 left in the first quarter, Lake County has scored. The score 6-0. Back after this on Star Channel Sports. Vikings fans here taking in what has turned out to be a cool day. We just got our fall weather yesterday, and it was timely in that that was the first day of fall. And sunny, nice afternoon here from North Chicago. Not a lot of wind.
Not as much as we had last night doing the game at Warren High School between North Chicago and Warren. Boy, the wind's really picking up.
Well, last week, Mike Mundy piled up 332 yards passing. And already today, he's going to the air for a passing touchdown to Ray Jones off a right side scramble. Fredericks to kick for the Vikings. Larry Banks deep for the Gary Golden Bears. It'll be Banks near his own goal line. This is Larry Banks with a middle return. And Banks is snowed under about the 27-yard line, where Gary will go to work for the first time this afternoon.
Banks on the return for Gary.
Let's take a look at that Vikings defensive front. Dennis Lane, Charles Williams are scheduled to go at the tackles, the ends, Randy Jones and Alan Plock. Bob Maynard, Tad Slowick, and Mel Graham, the backers. And in the defensive secondary, Steve Nash, Steve Borzik, we talked about him, Ackers, and Wade. Well, it looks like we have a change up on the defensive front. Ivy will start on the defensive line. There was a question as to whether Lane and Williams would make it, so Ivy, number 91 on the defensive front, will notify you of other changes as they occur. First and 10, Gary Golden Bears. Bears test the Lake County left side with a quick handoff. Gain about a yard on the play. Maybe 2. Ball carrier was Andre Miles, the 5'7", 165-pound running back.
Todd Crayley is also in the football game. He's replacing Charles Williams. Crayley is a 6'2", 180-pounder. He's out of Round Lake and attended Round Lake High School.
Near side split in Larry Banks on 2nd and 8. Robert Day and Andre Miles, the running backs for the Gary Golden Bears. Some motion in the near side and Andre Miles. Lake County stuffing it up the middle, maybe a gain of a yard on the play. Well, Gary, I counted when the offensive team was on the field, there's 11 players on the sidelines, which means Gary brought over exactly 22 players today, so a lot of busy two-way guys.
Oh, sure, and in large contrast to what the Vikings have over here, they've got a full squad of people on the sidelines, and as the game goes on, fatigue will probably become a factor for the Gary Golden Bears. Only 22 people. I'd imagine they'd shuffle some people in and out a lot just to have somebody fresh in the ball game at all times.
4:50 left in the first quarter of play. Lake County struck first. They're up by a score of 6-0. They were unable to convert after the touchdown. 3rd down, 6, Gary. This will be Andre Miles. Andre Miles with some good speed, spinning ahead. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down. Lake County tackled by Steve Nash, among others. Got up a 4th down and 2-yard situation, and it looks as though the Bears will have to unload. Deep for the Vikings, the speedy, dangerous Flea Johnson. Gentry Gale will kick for the Golden Bears. Now Johnson has been joined by Dale Jackson in the double safety formation. Low snap, barely got off, and it'll be taken by Flea Johnson on the run. Flea Johnson at the 50 to the outside, and he showed me something on that chip. He has no fear whatsoever.
Certainly does, and Mel Graham backing up, thought he might make it, and then all of a sudden Johnson comes over on the run, got a lot of momentum going, made the catch, and then took off.
Well,
Just couldn't break it, though.
I imagine here at the semi-pro level, we're not going to see a lot of fair catches. These guys aren't too worried about contracts and longevity. They just want to get out there and play the game.
Sure do. They said all along, they do it for the fun, and we've talked about that before, and you know, they come out, and that's exactly what happens. If you get a chance to do something, you're going to make the most of it because, like I said, it's not a professional level. They're just out having a little fun and trying to do the best they can.
Tony Durka, the near side split along with Flea Johnson. Rick Starosa split to the top of your screen, out of the eye backfield. Mike Mundy hands off to Jerry Bay. Jerry Bay is taken down almost immediately. Good tackle once again, number 84, Lee Jeffrey Harris, and he's been in on at least 3 tackles here.
And Keith Alexander also in on there. He's been on base heels so far all day, and there too he was able to come up, and nice piece of work by the defensive line for the Golden Bears, able to knock the pursuit down early so that Bay couldn't get out and make a big gain.
On 2nd and 10, Monday will take this snap out of the shotgun. Back in the ball game for Lake County, Andy Reeves split wide to the left. Flea Johnson joins him over there. Starosta to the near side. Monday from the shotgun. Overthrew Flea Johnson, nearest coverage applied by Darrell Watson. Set up a 3rd and 10. Monday will have to go to the air once again.
Throws a nice looking pass. Hasn't really been able to connect except for that touchdown pass, and I'm sure we'll be looking to see him trying to go for a little 10-yard, 10, 15-yard play so they can at least pick up the first down and try to keep the drive moving.
Well, we know he's a good athlete. He played defensive back in college for the Spartans of Michigan State. So if you can play in a Big Ten program, you know the guy's an athlete. Timeout, Lake County.
Timeout, Lake County.
And before the game, he told us he was worried about his Spartans. They're taking on Notre Dame today.
Time to take a look at the coaching staff of the Lake County Vikings in their first year in the Midwest Football League. We talked about Al Clark, We talked to him a few nights ago, and he seems to be real gung-ho about this program. In its first year, not a lot of people out here today, but this is the kind of thing that takes some time to grow. Rick Starosta said he's committed for a period of 10 years. He wants this to be something that Lake County youth can grow up with, as well as the fans of Lake County. Sam Toya is the offensive coordinator. Russ Craley, the defensive coordinator. J.C. Coleman is the offensive line coach. Michael Wade, the defensive back coach. Running back coach Gerald Green. The equipment assistants, Jadon Clark and Josh Christian. And the equipment junior assistant is Joe Middaw. And Joe Regis is also involved in the program here for the Lake County Vikings. And it was interesting talking to Rick Starosta. You know, I had him on a sports talk and before the season, and he was very excited about the upcoming season. And they got a win under their belt and a pretty good turnout here. And they're on the board here, 6-zip.
And that turnout's something they'd like to see grow, too, as time goes on. They wanted to, as you said, make it a 10-year plan, and hopefully a lot of the people in the community can get behind it as well and make it a bigger program.
Monday out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Takes a good snap. Rolling to his right now, and has Starosta at the 40. Rick Starosta tiptoes out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. He will be close to the first. Let's see where the referee spots the football.
Pick up a close to 8 yards on the play.
Not a very generous spot. It'll be a 4th and about long 2, Chip. Look at some of the clowns in the audience. They'll be part of the halftime entertainment.
It's a great setup with semi-pro football because that's it. None of the players get paid to do it, and it's out of love of the game that they do. And that's it, especially with the coaching staff. Guys really donating a lot of time, taking at least 4 or 5 hours a night out of their time to sit back and try to figure out game plans and certain things like that. And it's just out of pure love of the game that everybody's out here.
It'll be Jerry Bay. Jerry Bay gets the first down all the way down to the 30-yard line. So the Vikings go for it on 4th down and with positive results.
He's been effective so far. He's moved the ball pretty well on the ground. That time just taking the handoff and moving to the outside around the end, picking up the first down. And watch him ground the ball out a little bit today. If they need just a couple of yards, such as they did there, watch Bay get the ball.
First and 10, Lake County. Eldridge and Bay in the backfield once again. 2:16 remaining in the first quarter. Monday looking to throw. Monday across the middle. And the pass is dropped by number 40, Fleet Johnson. Johnson went to his knees and couldn't hang on.
Looked like he might have had that one, too. Just caught him, might have hit the pad. They want you to try to get your hands extended so you can keep it away from the ball hitting your pads and bouncing off. And I think that's just what happened there. Would have had enough for the first down, too, as he was on the 20-yard line when the ball got there.
Flag down, and it looks like the walk-off against Lake County. Clock ticking at 1:40 finally stopped, and that is the time remaining in the first quarter.
Holding against the Vikings. It'll be 1st and 20 for the Vikings from the 40-yard line.
Tony Durka comes to the near side along with Flea Johnson. Starosta split to the top of your screen. Mike Monday with his backfield split now breaks into the eye. The tailback on this play will be Dennis Ruiz. Eldridge still the up back. It'll be Ruiz. Hit immediately at the line of scrimmage. Frank Pfister hit him, the 6'5", 240-pound tackle, and he went no further, Chip.
Oh, he shot right through the line, was able to at least grab on behind the line of scrimmage, and nice piece of work by Pfister to get through that line, was able to fend off the center and just move inside and make a grab.
Ray Jones, the owner of the Lake County touchdown, checking back into the lineup with the play from Al Clark. Ray will move out wide to the left along with Flea Johnson. Starosta once again to the near side. Monday directing his running backs. Dennis Ruiz remains in the ballgame on 2nd down and what looks like 20 yards to go. Monday with some time over the middle for Starosta. And Rick Starosta, the big tight end, makes his second grab of the afternoon down to the 30-yard line.
Well, he said that was one of the things that brought him back to this club to play this year, is he said they promised that he'd get the ball some, and there we see him making another reception. He's made a couple so far today. Still got a little ways to go for that first down yet, but making another catch.
Starosta played his high school football at Waukegan East, and he went to college and played at Northeastern. Good hands for the big guy.
And that's a nice incentive when you come out to play, to know that you're going to get the ball. And that's what they promised him, and that's what brought him out to play.
3rd down and 10 for Lake County. And this will be the final play of the quarter if they get it off. Monday across the middle for Flea Johnson, who makes the
nice
grab
catch.
at the 10.
Nice catch. Left his feet and extended his arms. A nice reception by Johnson. And that moves the Vikings within striking distance once again.
And that will indeed end the quarter. When we come back, Lake County will have the ball at the 10-yard line. They're up by a score of 6-0. Back after this on Star Channel Sports. Knocking on the Gary Golden Bear door once again. Chip Flea Johnson didn't come up with a pass that might have been catchable on the last attempt he had, and that time he made up for it with a diving catch. He laid his body out there and brought it in.
Sure did, more than made up for it. Extended the arms nicely. The pass was out in front of him and left his feet to go after it and made a nice reception and just kept the drive for the Vikings going. And they might be able to put another couple of points here on the board if they can move it into the end zone once again. Seems they've worked a little bit of the kinks out of the offense. We saw a couple of bad exchanges between Monday and the running backs, but it seems like they've worked it out and are moving the offense pretty well.
1st and 10 for the Vikings. They can get a first down at the inside the 1-yard line. Monday rolling near side, and he ran into a man who was untouched. That was Greg Flores, and I don't know where he came from, but he put the Vikings back in a hole.
Well, Scott Center came out to try to get him, and Flores made a nice job to go around him and cut down Monday way in the backfield. Big loss there, but a nice piece of work there by Flores to get out to the outside and try to contain Monday, and was able to do so.
2nd down and 20. Andy Reeves into the ball game for the Vikings. Reeves will join Flea Johnson on the far side. Right side splits Starosta to the near side. Vince DeVost into the backfield for Lake County to join Eldridge. Monday to throw. Looking deep for Flea Johnson, and it's almost intercepted. 2 Golden Bear defenders coming by to break it up. Larry Banks was one of them, and Michael Herreros got over there in a hurry also.
That was a tough one because it looked like it stayed up a little bit and wasn't able to get it over to Johnson in the end zone. And when the 2 players came over, they had enough time to at least bat the ball down. Looked like they had a good shot at the interception, but just couldn't come up with it.
3rd down, 19 now. DeVost checks out for Lake County. And it will be interesting to see what the Vikings do here. Monday will probably take this snap from the gun. Jerry Bay is back in.
They can still get the first down, too, if they can get it down around the goal line.
Monday takes the shotgun snap. Near side for Bay with blockers. Jerry Bay down to the 9-yard line. Mike Britton on the tackle for the Golden Bears. Well, he had a wall of blockers, but quickly the Golden Bears got over.
Well, credit Darrell Watson with a nice play because Bay did have people in front of him to lead that play, and Watson was able to slice right through and get an open shot at Bay and bring him down. So nice piece of work by Watson to defend that play, able to get through a couple of the blockers. But they'll be close enough for field goal range, so if nothing else, they might be able to at least come away with 3 points.
Chris Fredericks, number 16, has knocked down a 47-yard field goal earlier this year. Wind will not be a factor. Starosta will hold. They'll tee it up on about the 16-yard line, which would make this a 26-yard field goal. Bad snap. Fredericks will chase and just take a knee where he'll be mauled over by Mike Britton. And we'll go the other way.
Yeah, he didn't like that hit by Britton either. He got up and was ready to throw the ball at him, wasn't too happy about it, and decided to think better of it and not take the penalty. But low snap and the ball skidded right by Starosta and just skipped by. And Fredericks had to give chase and just fall on it. A nice play by him to not try to pick it up and run with it and cause a bigger turnover. But it took him out of field goal range and took him away from getting 3 points.
Well, Starosta, in his receiver wisdom, with the receiver mind he has, took off to the right as a safety valve, but Fredericks had other ideas. He didn't want to be a quarterback. He just wanted to preserve the ball for the Vikings and not let Gary advance the football.
I don't think he felt like looking like Garo Yepremian back in that Super Bowl against Washington trying to throw the football. And did a smart thing just falling on it.
Gale has taken over for the quarterback of Gary. Gentry Gale, number 19, has replaced Bobby Welch. Robert Day, the ball carrier, gain of about 5 yards on the play. So Day took it right at the Lake County middle for a good gain. 12:40 remaining here in the first half of play. Lake County 6, Gary nothing. Semi-pro football from North Chicago High School. I'm Dan Capasso along with Chip Egan, and we're glad you're with us. Larry Banks coming to the near side now on 2nd and 5. Out of the I formation. Somebody jumped and made contact. Looked like number 98, Alan Plock of Lake County.
He might have.
Offsides, Vikings.
I think he thought that Ralph Love, the end on that play, just got up, and that's why he went out there and hit him. But the officials didn't see any movement on the Golden Bears offensive line and called it against the Vikings. Also down there is Charles Williams. He came a little late. He was replaced by Crayley earlier in the starting lineup. But Charles Williams is back. He's a defensive tackle, 6'4", 265 pounds. He's out of Waukegan, went to North Chicago High School, and he went to the University of Nebraska. So you talk about a football factory. He certainly attended one.
Gary Gloyd split wide to the left for Gary. Here's a quick back in the open, Andre Miles. But quickly the Vikings got over there to put an end to that.
Michael Wade coming right up and making the hit. Nice piece of tackling by Wade, because if he's not able to make it, it looks like they're able to break out a big gain, because Miles looked like he had a good momentum moving. But nice play by Wade to take him down and not allow him to get to the outside near that first down marker.
2nd down 8 with 11:46 left here in the first half. Gary trying to get on the board. The Gary Golden Bears from Indiana. Larry Banks, the near side split once again. The quarterback remains Gentry Gale, who sets his backfield in the eye. Tad Slowick on the tackle. Robert Day ran into Slowick, and we knew before the ball game that Big Tad would be in on a lot of tackles. His brother, number 5, Colin Slowick, also an excellent football player.
That's what's fun about watching semi-pro football. You know, it's the attitude to come out and have fun is, you know, the same as you would when you just have a sandlot game. You get a group of guys going. But this is a lot more organized in the sense that you've got a bunch of set plays and different things. And it's fun to come out here and watch this because, as we said, it's after the college career, some of the guys trying out for pro teams and now just moving on, and it's a great outlet for them.
Looking for Banks, and he almost had him. And the referee took a nasty spill. Coverage on the play for Lake County supplied by Steve Nash.
It looks like the official's down, too. He might have a problem. He's going to get up a little gingerly.
Well, Steve Borzik, the fine defensive back for Lake County, came flying into the picture to take out the referee. And he appears to be okay, but he caught him right in that knee region. I saw his knee kind of crumple there, and that guy's earning his paycheck today. 4th down and 6, and Gary will have to unload the football. Gale will punt for Gary. Flea Johnson deep for the Vikings.
They had Banks wide open on that play, too, just overshot.
Dale Jackson back with Flea Johnson. And this punt is a short one. Will be taken by Flea at the 30. Flea Johnson at midfield, where he's upended by the punter. Gentry Gale came up and threw his body in front of Johnson, and had he not been able to get the Flea man down, He might have been flying to the end zone.
Oh, that's it. Credit Gale with a nice play because that's it. He's pretty much the last man to make the tackle because it looked like Johnson had a lot of room if he gets by Gale, but a nice play to come up and upend him and knock him down, but we got a flag on the play.
Well, in the open field, chances are we're going to see the slash below the knee, which indicates clip. Looking at the referee now, and he says, you clip me, I'll call a clip on you.
Clipping against the Vikings. Brings the ball all the way
I did
down
not see who threw the clip, but it was right about the spot where Flea Johnson took that ball on the run. Regardless, 10:24 left in the first half. Lake County with a 6-0 lead. They'll go 1st and 10. Tony Durka, the near side split. Flea Johnson wide to the right. Jerry Bay is back in the backfield at tailback. Eldridge will be the fullback. It'll be Bay, met immediately by a wall of Golden Bears. Some big boys up front there for Gary. Frank Pfister led the charge, 6'5", 240 pounds. He got some help from the interior of Gary.
They've looked good, the Golden Bears have, in trying to stop those dive plays. It's once it gets outside that they've had a little bit of problems. See the Vikings trying to move the ball outside and try to get Bay some running room.
Wide receivers left and right now on 2nd down 11. Monday with a fake, looking to throw over the middle for Starosta, who can't hang on. Well, Rick Starosta, who's been steady in his first 2 receptions tonight, was right around the 25-yard line. That ball was a little bit low, but definitely catchable, and Rick most definitely had some room to run on the far side.
That was a tough one, too, because I think if he waited and looked towards the Viking side of the field, he had Johnson wide open. He made a nice move towards the inside and then cut back towards the sidelines and was wide open. And if they got the ball out there to him, he had a lot of open running room. I thought maybe if he just waited a little longer, they might have had a real big game.
3rd down, 11 yards to go. Monday will take this snap from the shotgun once again. Monday with an accurate and strong arm. Backpedaling now to the 10-yard line. Looking for Flea Johnson. The reception is made. He'll be short of the 1st down. Johnson well covered. On the tackle was Mike Boswell, 5'10", 210-pounder, number 44. Boswell on the spot, setting up a punting situation for the Vikings.
Pick up of 5 yards on the play. It'll bring up 4th down, 7 yards to go for Lake County.
Well, it looks as though the Viking receivers are getting open. And Gary is doing a nice job stuffing up the inside. If Lake County can establish a running game, that passing game will be a lot more effective.
And they've used a lot of little outs towards the sidelines, too, as well.
Fredericks to boot, and he gets a pretty good toe into this one, a spiral, which will head down to the 40-yard line and then some, be down to about the 36-yard line where Gary will take over. So Fredericks gets a good boot.
Fredericks kick. Rolls dead.
That's what the Vikings have done offensively, is a lot of plays towards the sidelines. They've had a couple of receptions over the middle, but a lot of the plays they've had have been heading out towards the sidelines. Starosta, a couple of down and outs there. As I said, the pattern I saw Johnson run, he's heading more towards the sidelines, and the touchdown right in the corner of the end zone.
So here come the Gary Golden Bears from their own 38-yard line. Gary has not scored in the contest. Lake County has punched it in once. A touchdown pass to Ray Jones from Mike Monday. Borzik looked like he was coming. Now he backs off. Lake County stuffs that play up. Ball carrier was Andre Miles. And coming off the bottom of the pile for Lake County was Bob Maynard.
Alan Plock, the first guy to get through and make the initial contact, really bottled that play up nicely, and that's what brought the other Viking defensive lineman back down in to contain the play. But credit Plock with being able to come to the outside and force the play back in, made the initial contact, and a good play warding off the defensive lineman, or the offensive lineman, excuse me.
Mel Graham having a good game defensively, also helping out on that tackle. Larry Banks, the speedy wide receiver, split to the right. Out of the I backfield, Gary on 2nd and 11. Once again, Lake County shows their toughness in the middle.
The carrier
Day, the ball carrier,
for the Bears.
and the Lake County tackle made
Pick up of 3 yards.
by Randy Jones.
For the Bears from their own 40-yard line.
Jones played his high school football here at North Chicago, and as we mentioned, went on to play for Nebraska. 3rd down, 7. With 7:18 left on the running first half clock. Gloyd and Banks, the wide receivers, left and right. Flores, the ball carrier, and he ran a long way laterally.
And didn't pick up anything. Good pursuit by the Viking defense. We haven't seen the Gophers, or the Golden Bears, really put the ball up that much. They've tried to keep it on the ground, and the Vikings have done a nice job of coming out there and stringing out the plays and holding them to short gains. They've bottled up the middle, and they've contained the outside well, so we haven't had a chance to see the Golden Bears trying to put the ball in the air that much.
Randy Jones and Bob Maynard on the Lake County tackle, forcing a punting situation.
Number 40, Lee Johnson.
Johnson deep, along with Jackson. It'll be Jackson at the 30. Jackson eludes a tackler now. Jackson at the 40. Jackson still on his feet where he'll finally be brought down from behind, but credit Dale Jackson with a pretty nice return.
But just kept going with second effort. He was getting hit, bounce off, keep running, got hit again, keeps moving.
40-yard line.
Nice job of running and keeping his balance.
Illegal procedure against the Bears is declined.
Illegal procedure, the penalty assessed to the Bears. It is declined by Lake County. And Mike Monday will have to go to work again on 1st and 10. The ball will be spotted at the 40-yard line, so a chance for Lake County to punch something in here before the second half clock expires. 6:11 left, or rather the first half clock. 6:11 left in the first half.
It's going to be tough to try to block one of the Golden Bear punts, too, because as soon as a punter gets it, he just pretty much drops it and kicks it right away. He doesn't have like a two-step punt. A lot of times punters will get it and they'll take a step or two and then kick it away. As soon as he gets it, he just drops it right down and kicks it. So it's going to be tough to try to get any pressure on him to block a punt.
1st and 10 Vikings. Their final home game here at North Chicago High School. Monday looking to throw. Monday for Johnson. Flea Johnson the grab. At the 30-yard line, hit immediately by Larry Banks. But once again, Monday goes to one of his favorite receivers and connects.
Well, it was a nice job because the ball looked like it kind of hung, and Johnson just came inside of Banks and was able to pull it right down. Nice job by Johnson to know where he is and where the ball was going to come down, and he was able to cut back inside the defensive player and make the reception for a big gain.
29 yards on the pass play.
29 yards on the pass play. Andy Reeves into the ball game for Lake County, giving Flea Johnson a brief rest. Tony Durka split wide to the right, hasn't figured much in the passing attack. I'm sure we'll see him catch some footballs before the afternoon is over. Rick Starosta near side split. Monday will hand off to Jerry Bay. Jerry Bay with some running room to the near side, brought down from behind. Lee Jeffrey Harris caught up with him, and Harris is showing me something. He's been a bright spot on the Golden Bear defense.
And they got a flag, and they're going to have holding. There again, a little trouble in the exchange between Monday and Bay in that one, and that might have cost them a little bit.
Monday checking over to the Lake County sideline. In the Lake County lineup, Bill Vassos checks in.
Holding against Lake County.
And the walk-off puts the Vikings back to the 44-yard line. Now they'll relocate the ball and spot it about the 41-yard line. In Golden Bear territory, the situation will be 1st and 20.
10-yard penalty assessed against the Vikings. That'll be 1st and 20.
Out of the huddle come the Lake County Vikings.
Gary, 41-yard line.
Reeves and Durka split to the near side. Starosta wide to the top. Mike Eldridge and Jerry Bay in Monday's backfield. Jerry Bay, the fake handoff with the ball on his hip. Monday looking to throw. Finally gets it off to Starosta, who did not get his feet in bounds, and the pass will go incomplete.
Nice pursuit by Mike Boswell. Came over and really didn't seem to be too fooled by the fake, as Monday put the ball on his hip and tried to bootleg out to his right to buy some more time to get a receiver. But nice job by Boswell to get out there and disrupt the flow of that play a little bit.
Flea Johnson back in the Lake County lineup, running in the play. Second down and 20 from the Gary 41-yard line. Out of the shotgun. Monday with a long snap count. Looked like somebody moved. No flag. Monday going to keep. Monday with a good lead block. Monday in the middle of the field. Mike Monday with one man to beat to the outside. Angling towards the far end zone. Mike Monday. Lake County touchdown.
Mike Monday on the carry for the Lake County touchdown.
Looked like he wanted to throw and then just decided to take off. Came over towards the Viking sideline. Then got a couple of nice blocks, and he made a nice couple of cutbacks towards the middle of the field. It bought him some more time as he just moved it up.
41 yards on the touchdown. And you could tell Monday is an experienced runner in that he was not too anxious. He waited for his blocks to develop, and once he got to the outside, he had one man to beat. He outran Michael Heredos to the corner of the end zone. That makes the score 12-0 with 4:42 left in the half. And Lake County in good shape here, heading to the halftime locker room. Fredericks will try and add the extra point. You remember it was blocked after the first touchdown. Starosta will hold. They also had a field goal attempt go awry. Low snap again. Fredericks will chase this one down. Now Starosta will fall upon it. And that might have been the one he wanted to get away from, because you can't advance an extra point. And the score will remain with 4:42 left in the first half. The Lake County Vikings 12 and the Gary Golden Bears nothing. Well, it looked like Lake County had a hard time going up the middle, and with Monday as fast as he is, spreading his receivers out, getting some of the defenders downfield, he took the ball on his own.
That's it. It doesn't look like they've picked up a lot going to little dive plays, but once they try to kick it to the outside, that's where they're making their gains. And Monday just moving to the outside on that pass play and just moved it right upfield and showed good vision. As soon as he saw where the open areas in the field were, he tried to take advantage of it and did.
Well, you might be seeing some clowns from time to time on your screen, and it's a nice little thing they got going. It's a Say No to Drugs campaign. They're called the King Gestures, and they work with children at the Christian Fellowship Church on Belvedere Road and the Youth Center at Whispering Owls. You can see the clowns out there each week, and they'll be performing at nursing homes and hospitals in the area. At halftime, they'll be performing their theme song, Don't Clown Around, Say No to Drugs. Noble effort, gentlemen, and pretty good-looking clowns also. Fumble on the play. Gary Gloyd scoops it up and heads to the outside. Gary Gloyd still on his feet. Finally wrestled down by Chris Callamore. And it'll be 1st and 10 Gary.
Looking down at the sidelines, Mike Hilty, the center for the Vikings, is working on that snap. He's working with Starosta, so he can just try to get it, because those last two snaps on the point after have bounced in, and they haven't been able to convert with the point after, and that's why it's only 12 instead of 14-0. And he was over there. I was just watching him on the sideline, and Starosta was trying to help him out as to getting the ball up a little higher instead of bouncing him in.
1st and 10 Gary from their own 34-yard line with 4:28 remaining in the half. Lake County on top, as Chip just mentioned, by a score of 12-0. Borzik is coming. And quickly the pass was unloaded, intended for Gary Gloyd. Out of bounds it went. Well, Steve Borzik on the blitz could not get in there, but the Lake County rush was intense enough to make Bobby Welch throw that ball out of bounds. Bobby Welch, by the way, back in at quarterback for Gentry Gale, who had replaced him on the last series.
And we haven't seen the ball put up in the air too much by the Golden Bears, and we might be able to see it now with Welch on that first down pass, so we might see him put it up again.
Larry Banks, the near side split. Gloyd split to the top. And it looks like Tad Slowick got a little too anxious there. Let's see if he was drawn. Well, Slowick's a big boy. Linebacker, 6'5", 225. Skokie native, played his high school football at Niles East, and he went to Rollins College.
This one's going to go against the Vikings. Once again, encroachment. They've carried the burden for most of the penalties the Vikings have, and probably look to try to change that after halftime. Hasn't really cost them, but it can't be too pleasing to the head coaching staff of the Vikings.
Second and 5, the situation now. Bobby Welch at the controls for Gary. Welch looking to throw. Flags in the air. The reception is made by Lee Jeffrey Harris. And we'll wait on those flags. Well, Lee Jeffrey Harris is playing one heck of a football game on both ends. He's made a lot of tackles on the defensive interior and a wide receiver.
And that's what we said we'd see a lot of out of the Golden Bears, because they only had about 22 players come. So we're going to see a lot of the players going both offense and defense. And he has done a good job so far in this ball game. Take a look down the field again. It's number 92, Dennis Lane, for the Vikings. He's working on snapping. Before, they had Vince Mary down there trying it for the point afters. We'll have to see what's going to happen if they score again.
Everybody getting a tryout under fire. Almost picked off. Coming over to make the play, Bob Ackers stepped in front of the receiver. Larry Banks was open momentarily, but credit Ackers with an athletic play. He got over there in a hurry.
That's it. Ackers was coming in on an angle, too, and that's why he had the good shot at the ball. If Welch was able to throw it out farther, they might have been able to get a big gain out of it, because it looks like Banks had the defense beaten. But Welch just kind of underthrew it, and a nice attempt by Akers to come over and almost pick that ball off.
Well, it looked like while Gentry Gale was in the ball game, number 19, Gale was more of a handoff running quarterback, but I think Welch is their thrower. He'll take the snap out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Greg Carter in at wide receiver for the first time today. Looking for Carter, and he's open. Greg Carter makes the grab at the 40. Greg Carter's got some speed. Borzik will chase, finally taken down from behind by Mike Wade. We see Greg Carter get in the ball game and make his presence known immediately, Chip.
And if you follow that play all the way down, too, Carter never had a good handle on the ball until he got to about the 25-yard line before he was able to tuck it away. The ball got there nicely. Welch threw a beautiful pass over the outstretched arms of the defense, and Carter came down with it, but someone bobbled it for a couple of yards and then eventually pulled it down about the 25-yard line, tucked it away, and then moved it back upfield. If he was able to catch that one and just keep going in full stride, he might have been able to score, but I think that fumbling cost him a little bit. But he still got a big gain out of it anyway, and the Golden Bears are knocking on the door.
Well, we got an idea of the speed of Michael Wade, who caught him from behind. He outran 2 Lake County defenders to catch up with him. 1st and 10, Gary from the 15-yard line. 3:10 left here in the half. Andre Miles is brought down from behind. Nice tackle by Randy Jones, who's been in the Gary backfield all afternoon.
And Alan Plock also back there had a hand on him. First off, just couldn't bring him down, but he spent a good portion of the day in the backfield as well. The defensive line of the Vikings has done a good job breaking through and penetrating into that backfield, and they have offset several of the running attempts by the Golden Bears.
2nd and 15 after the loss. Greg Carter checking out of the ball game, and Gloyd in. Now will split to the left. Larry Banks, the near side split. Bobby Welch will take the snap after the 6-yard loss. Welch to throw, rolling near side. Welch the pump fake, now looking in the end zone. Broken up nicely. The intended receiver was Larry Banks. Borzik got over there, and he got some help.
Thought he had a shot at picking that one off, too, because it looked like Welch lofted that one up there. and Borzik went to bat it down and knocked it up, and then I thought Banks had a chance to come back on it. He tried, but just fell short on coming up with the reception. But once that ball got batted up in the air, they had a good chance of coming back down with it and being at least on the goal line.
3rd down, 15. You know, I got a real kick out of talking to Borzik throughout the week. He represents what a lot of ex-high school athletes represent. A guy who just didn't get his fill in high school. He said he thought that he wasn't noticed as much as he might have been in high school. He didn't play as well as he might have wanted to play. And he's kind of fulfilling a dream here and doing a nice job. He leads the league in interceptions with 5. Bobby Welch on 3rd and 15, looking over the middle. And Borzik got it. His 6th interception of the season. Steve Borzik came across and picked that one off.
And he did, and he was able to pick up a couple of extra yards once he made the pickoff, but there he goes again, leading the league and gets another one.
So Lake County with 2 minutes, 4 seconds left in the half to try and march the ball 90 yards. They're up 12-0. A first quarter touchdown pass to Ray Jones. And a Mike Monday 41-yard touchdown run, and that's been the scoring. Both point-after touchdowns were thwarted on bad snaps. Monday wants to throw. Looking for Durka. And broken up. Coverage on the play by Michael Heretos. And that's about the first time we've seen Durka the target.
That was kind of a tough one, too, because it looked like the ball wobbled a lot getting out there. Durkin might have had his defender beat. If the ball's lofted out there, he might have been able to take off with it, but it hung up there. And credit Durkin with a nice job coming back. And if nothing else, being at least able to knock it down. Even if he couldn't come up with it, better off to knock it to the ground than have a defender pick it off. And a nice play by Durkin on recovering to come back on the football.
Well, you're all alone on those sideline patterns, the one-on-one coverage. You're in the spotlight. And if you don't knock that ball down, there's a lot of green both ways.
Well, it's heads-up play because then you know where you have to know where you are and what could happen, and it was a nice job just to come back and break up what could have been a pickoff.
You got to like the spirit of Monday at quarterback, 12-0. You know, some teams, you know, you're a pro team up 12-0 in your own 10-yard line. You're going to you're going to be content to go to the halftime locker room up 12-0. You're going to pretty much stay ball control. But semi-pro football, let's get some more before halftime. Let's go upstairs.
Oh, that's it. That's part of the fun of the ball game. Just come out, and since they're out there and have fun, take shots, take some chances. And that's what's nice about the league is it's not going to be as conservative as, say, watching some of the pro games and have a little bit more wide-open game. And that's why you see a pass like that on your own 10-yard line.
A pair of wide receivers left and right. Dwayne Williams in at the blocking back, big number 78. Before Monday to throw, flushed out of the pocket now looking for Starosta. Rick Starosta the catch, quickly cradles that football. He has the first down at the 22-yard line.
Oh, the blitz came and the Vikings did a good job of picking it up, and that's what bought Monday more time and was able to get Starosta open as he just cut to the middle and came back when he saw Monday coming out of the pocket. But a good job by the line to pick up the blitz.
Dwayne Williams remains in at the blocking back. Wide receivers left and right, a pair on each side. Mike Monday to throw with some time. Now rolling to his left. Monday to throw, going long for Flea Johnson. Nicely broken up by Larry Banks.
Oh, good coverage by Banks. That ball coming down. It looks like Johnson might have also had him beat, and Banks, nice job of coming over and knocking it down. He's been all over the place, too. Banks has done the job.
There's another player going both ways, a skill position player. The incompletion stops the clock with 1:20 left in the half, where it'll be 2nd and 10. Lake County rolling the dice here, going into the halftime locker room. Dennis Ruiz will join Rick Starosta on the near side. Andy Reeves has checked into the ballgame to give Flea Johnson a breather. Here comes the blitz. Monday will unload to the big fullback Williams, and a flag right near where the reception was made.
Let's see what the call is. Usually that's an indication of holding, but with the exception of that play, a personal foul, a tripping is the call.
Well, you know what I think might have happened. The blitz was coming, and I think the only way the Lake County lineman could have stopped the blitzer was stick out that leg, and I think that's what happened.
And I like the play calling, the Vikings, too. When they started out on their 10-yard line, they weren't content with just moving it down, picking up maybe 10-yard passes. They were taking shots at over 25 yards. And with the exception of that pass to Starosta and that one, which was pretty much a safety valve because of the pocket breaking down, they've tried to look for the big gains. They've looked for the bomb, and aggressive football, and that's what we like to see.
Minute 13 remaining in the half. Mike Monday will take this snap on about the 2-yard line. Got to be wary of a safety here. Monday to throw for Starosta, who's open. Rick Starosta makes the grab on about the 24-yard line. Did not get out of bounds. The clock continues to tick. We are now under a minute here in the first half.
Now that's it there. That's what you're trying to do, is because of the position they were in with the penalty, you're just trying to move the ball downfield, maybe get it into at least field goal range. They've still got some time to run off a couple more plays.
3rd down 8. We're down to 44 seconds in the half. Gary showing blitz. Monday now rolling right. Mike Monday will tuck it under and head to the sidelines where he picks up the first down and kills the clock. Heads up play by Mike.
Sure was. Get to the first down yard marker, at least get another 4 downs, and get out of bounds, stop that clock. And with 30 seconds left, still take a couple more shots at it to at least move the ball downfield.
Well, Monday works at the nearby naval base, and talking to their coaching staff, they hope that he retains that assignment. They like him a lot.
Sure do. They're hoping he can stick around for a long time.
A pair of receivers left and right. Once again, Flea Johnson has re-entered the ball game. 31 seconds remaining now in the first half. Dwayne Williams, the lone blocking back for Lake County. Monday. Across the middle, floats a pass to Johnson. He's dangerous in the open field, brought down at midfield. And the clock now says 20 seconds remaining as they move the chains. Well, Rick Starosta was wide open on the near side, but so was Johnson.
And the Vikings are taking a timeout, which is a smart thing to do because now you're on the move. And with 20 seconds left, you want to be sure of what you're doing. You're going to probably get a couple of plays into them so that they can run the hurry-up offense as they move it downfield. Call another play and trying to keep moving the football.
I'll tell you what, Chip, this has been a nice change of pace for me. I'm sure you'll agree. The high school game is always an exciting one, but seeing guys who are around our age, well, I'm speaking a little more for myself, a young college grad you are, but this is kind of neat to watch the caliber of football, guys my own age.
It is, as we said, a way for them to try to expose it to the community, and hopefully at the time of the broadcast we were talking they'd like to make it into a 10-year plan, at least see this program take off and go at least 10 years, and it's going to take some money to do so as well, but hopefully they can get a lot of fan support and a lot of people that maybe feel they can't play college football or, you know, maybe their college days are over playing can come out and help out the program.
First and 10 Lake County with 20 seconds remaining in the first half. They're up by a score of 12-0 on 2 touchdowns. Mike Monday looking to throw now. Reeves is open over the middle. He's got him. Touchdown, Lake County. Andy Reeves. Uncontested over the middle, and he waltzed in, Chip.
Oh, he was wide open. They left the middle completely open. It looked like the safeties were going to try to double cover the wide receivers to the far outside, and that left the middle wide open, and that's where the receiver went to. And nice job by Reeves to go to the open space, and a nice job by Money to get the ball right to him. Hit him right in stride and went right into the end zone.
Reeves, a local favorite, a Waukegan East graduate, played his college football at St. Mary's. And the score now, Lake County 18 and Gary nothing. It'll be tough for Gary to get up, to come out here for the second half. As we mentioned, they came over here with just 22 players, and Lake County's taking it to him. Fredericks will try and kick the extra point. He's been unsuccessful in his previous 2 tries. They auditioned a couple of snappers on the near side. I can't tell who's going to unload that ball, but the snap is good, and the kick is pulled to the left. And that's something they'll work on practice this week, Chip.
Well, I don't think he was used to seeing a good snap that time. I think that's what might have thrown him off a little, but they've really had some troubles. They weren't able to get the two previous snaps down, and this time they're able to, and he just shanked the kick and missed it.
So with 8 seconds left, Gary will receive this kickoff deep for the Golden Bears. Will be a very busy Larry Banks. He'll be joined back there with Gary Gloyd. And it's Rick Starosta's birthday. You see Rick coming off the near sideline, number 88. Real nice guy to talk to.
And nothing like celebrating your birthday with getting a few pass receptions, and it's been a key factor in several of the Viking drives that have led to scores.
Fredericks handles the kicking duties for Lake County. Let's acknowledge our first half camera people doing a great job. Danny Blanchard and Michelle Green on the upstairs cameras. Greg Smith on the sideline. This is Greg Flores on the reverse now. The other way is Gentry Gale. He's got some room to move. Gentry Gale still on his feet at the 30. And time has elapsed in the first half, but Gentry Gale gave the one Gary Golden Bear fan a thrill. There he is over there. Maybe we can pick him up on the far side. They have exactly one fan on the far side. The Lake County fans come out in pretty good numbers today. Anyhow, there's the halftime score. Lake County Vikings with 3 touchdowns, up by a score of 18-0. There's our fan, super fan. I'm Dan Capasso, along with Chip Egan, and we'll hope you'll stick around for the second half. The second half of semi-pro football action about ready to commence from North Chicago High School. The Lake County Vikings on top of the Gary Golden Bears by a score of 18-0. Fredericks will boot for the Vikings. Gloyd, the ball carrier, to the outside across the 30 to the 35-yard line, where the Gary Golden Bears will try to get something on the board. Chip, quickly a recap of that first half scoring.
All right, in the first quarter at 7:13, Mike Monday hit a 30-yard touchdown pass to Ray Jones. The point after was no good. The snap was low and bounced away. 6-0, and that's the way the Vikings led as it carried into the second quarter at 4:42 left. Monday went on a 41-yard touchdown run. The point after, once again, was no good, and it was 12-0 Lake County. And then the scoring was completed with only 9 seconds left to go in the half on a 50-yard touchdown pass from Monday to Andy Reeves. Point after, once again, was no good. 18-0 was the score at half, and that's how we stand here early in the third quarter.
Bobby Welch in at quarterback for the Golden Bears. Welch was spelled by Gentry Gale for a while. Welch back in, hands off to the running back, Andre Miles. Andre Miles is plowed under. Leading the charge, once again, Randy Jones. Also in on the Lake County tackle was Tad Slowick. And Miles got up slowly and went back down to the turf.
Geez, talk about a gang tackle, too. Everybody over there. There must have been about 5 people from the Vikings over there in on that play.
Mel Graham, another Viking, around the football. Mike Wade over there also. Well, the Vikings with an 18-0 first half lead before the home crowd on their last home date have to be fired up and encouraged by the way things have gone today.
Oh, they've got to be really happy with the way things have gone. In fact, when you build that 18-0 lead, you're happy because your offense is clicking. Everything is going pretty well for your team. They've got to be wary of penalties, though. They had a lot in that first half.
Banks and Carter, wide receivers left and right. Inside handoff for a couple yards. Once again, Tad Slowick on the tackle. Robert Day got the call. Set up a 3rd down 7.
Boy, what a great football day, huh?
No kidding.
The temperature's there, the sun's out. Good football weather. It's a shame we're probably not going to have this throughout the course of the season. We'd like to, but I think the chances of that happening are slim.
We got some of those night games coming up, and we
Yeah,
we
in
learned
the
the
Arctic
hard way
regions of
last night.
Illinois.
Third down, 7 for the Gary Golden Bears, down by a score of 18-0. Here comes Slowick.
They're going to get an encroachment, too. I think that on that play, one of the Viking linemen, Tad Slowick, I think he came up over the line. He was going to blitz through, and I think he came over a little early. And I think that's what the flag is.
There's a flag down on the play.
Randy Jones was quickly in pursuit of the quarterback. Along with Randy was Alan Flock, the big 262-pound tackle from Lake Forest.
This one's going against Golden Bears.
You know, maybe the sight of Slowick hovering over the line from his linebacker position was enough to screw up the offensive line of Gary.
And maybe I should just keep my mouth shut and not make the calls before the official does. That's what I thought, though, because he really got into that backfield quick, and once I saw the flag, I thought that's what the indication would have been, but somebody on the Golden Bears coming off a little early.
Jackson and Johnson, the double J's, back for Gary. We got a flag. And Jackson watches it sail out of bounds at the 30.
Good pressure provided by Carlos Bright to come in on that punt. Had a shot at blocking it. Punter went down on that one, but I don't know if they're going to call roughing the kicker. Offside on the Vikings. In fact, I think they waved it off, too, because when Bright came through, he had a good shot at the ball and knocked him down, but I believe the official waved it off.
The official discussing matters with the Gary captains. And double safeties dropping back for Lake County once again. So it looks like they will re-punt the football from 5 yards up.
The Vikings is accepted. It'll be 4th down and about 3 yards to go.
Gale will punt.
Be careful, too, here, because Gale is a quarterback and only about 4 yards to go for the first. They might give it a shot with a fake.
Low snap, and it looked like Lake County almost got a hold of it. Johnson drops it. Jackson picks it up and is hit immediately. Gary Gloyd got there in a hurry and took advantage of the situation. The ball will be spotted on about the 33-yard line, where Lake County will take over 1st and 10 with an 18-zip lead, 12:54 left in the third quarter.
First and 10 Vikings from their own 35-yard line.
Vikings moving right along that 18-0 lead. Let's see if they can keep that offensive flow going like they had in the first half. Good combination of moving the ball outside along with several passes towards the outside. Had some success going up the middle with the passes. 50-yard touchdown, plus they've been able to get Starosta open over the middle as well. Let's see if they can go back with that combination here in the second half.
It'll be Bay. Jerry Bay got his shirt grabbed and was flung to the ground. Gary tackled by Mike Boswell. You know, Bay carried the ball 15 yards in the first half for 95 yards, 294 yards total offense for the Vikings. And Mr. Monday, very impressive from the air, Chip.
200 yards in the air, 12 of 18. A good job by him in the air. And he's shown great sense, too, once the pocket breaks down, to float out to the right or left and try to keep something going in their offense so that he can possibly break some receivers open. And the first touchdown pass they had did just that. Receivers were able to get open once the defenders made a commitment towards Monday.
Into the eye, the Lake County backfield shifts, and somebody broke the plane. Greg Flores gambled on the snap count and lost, Chip.
I think so. He's been doing that late in the first half. He gave that a chance, too. But they were picking up the blitz well. Vikings did a good job. And that's what the penalty is. It's going to go against Flores. They did a good job picking up that blitz in the first half. And Flores was going to give it a shot and try it again.
Tony Durka in the play. In with the play, replacing Flea Johnson. Back into the ballgame for Lake County, Ray Jones, who was credited with the first Viking touchdown. Mike Monday has shown himself to be a fine young quarterback. Shifts his backfield into the I formation now. 5 yards to go for the first down. Here's the reverse. Tony Durka with some room to run. Tony Durka at the 40, Headed now to the near side where he's ridden out of bounds by Gregory Carter. Little razzle-dazzle, close to first down yardage. He may have got it. It'll depend on the spot.
Now they're going to give it to him. They're moving the chains.
Yardage good enough for a Vikings first
Well,
down.
Durka was able to cut under the man on the outside, and that gave him enough yardage for the first down. Good wheels.
Looks like Flores came over and read the play, but just overplayed it and went right by it. A nice job by Durka to cut back to the inside where the opening was, and he turned it right upfield for the first down. So a little overcommitment by the Golden Bear defense caused him a problem as it gets a first down for the Vikings.
Flea Johnson back in, split wide to the top of your screen. Lake County backfield now in the split. Mike Monday will hand off to Jerry Bay. Jerry Bay behind a blocker. Gains about 6 yards off the right side. Brought down ultimately by Greg Flores once again. Flores making a lot of tackles for Gary. Andy Reeves back in the lineup for Lake County. Reeves brought this crowd to the feet before the halftime.
Vikings offensive line doing a good job of moving people out, and they're not moving out any small people, especially number 72. Roderick Tate, 6'5", 293 pounds for the Golden Bears.
Second down 5 for Lake County. Jerry Bay with flags in the air. Bay reversing directions and meeting up once again with Greg Flores.
Jerry Bay, the ball carrier again for the Vikings. Short gain on the play. There is a
And it's going against the Vikings. Another walk-off.
Vikings lined up off sides.
They lined up off sides, and that's something you know has Al Clark chomping at the bit.
Oh, he certainly can't be happy about that, and their problems with the penalties keep coming.
We'll bring up second
Even
down.
though they got the big lead, they've really got to be worried of that as their season progresses, because at times when you start making penalties like that, it could cost you.
Second down 9 now. Vince DeVost is now the tailback for Lake County. DeVost takes the pitch. DeVost gets a block from Eldridge and then gets strung out. Mike Britton on the Gary tackle.
Flores, the ball carrier for the Vikings. Loss of yardage.
Golden Bears got a lot of people over there in a hurry, too, to try to shut that play off before he could get to the outside and turn it upfield. They strung that one out nicely. Were able to come right up and make the play. Good job and good pursuit from the left side of that Golden Bear line.
Third down 11 now. Let's see if Monday comes out of the shotgun. He will. Flea Johnson back in the ball game, split to the right. Tony Durka to the near side. Rick Starosta is the tight end. High snap, Monday. Looking for Durka. Almost intercepted by Darrell Watson, and Durka did the next best thing besides catching the pass, which was an impossibility. He really took it to Watson and forced him to drop the potential interception.
Well, once that ball went up, I wanted to see what Watson was going to do because he just floated back with it, and the ball kind of hung up there, and Watson was able to just spot it, and like a center fielder in baseball, just came over and tried to make the interception on it. He just followed that all the way out there, but it was a nice piece of work by Tony Durka to come over and at least knock the ball loose so that they could avoid the turnover.
Colin Slowick in the block for the punter, Fredericks. Fredericks will unload deep in single safety, Gregory Carter. Carter will field it. He'll back away from this punt at the 25-yard line, taking a Lake County bounce and being down at the 32-yard line. So we talked about probably the scarcity of fair catches, and Carter backed off of that one.
First and 10 for the Bears from their own 32.
That took a Golden Bear bounce, and will be down to, and was down on the 32. Gary still looking for their first score of the ball game. 9:17 left in the third quarter.
Well, they got a little offense moving towards the end of the first half. The Golden Bears are hoping that it'll carry over here and that they can at least move the ball downfield again, get some sync with that offense, and they've got Welch back there who's been throwing the football. We'll see if he puts it back up in the air again.
Robert Day and Andrew Miles still in the Golden Bear backfield, and we have some movement on both sides, it would appear.
got some anxiousness, I think is what we got. A lot of people moving up. Vikings showing blitz. This one's going to go against the Golden Bears, it seems. It's someone in the interior line, I think, coming out of their set position to try to pick up the blitz.
5-yard penalty for the procedure. 1st and 15 when they come back to the line. Orlando Terry, the center, out over the football for the Golden Bears. Welch will take the snap from the shotgun. Here comes Slowick once again, picked up on the blitz. Pass over the middle. The receiver dropped, or rather slipped on the play. Lee Jeffrey Harris was open but lost his footing. Looking at the referee now, indicating that he was tripped, but nobody's buying it.
Coming up a little gingerly is Michael Wade. See what's wrong. Favoring his arm a little bit, but he's waving the player back off the field. He seems to be all right.
Running off the field for Lake County.
Barry Kimbrough coming off the field there. He went back in to see if Wade was going to be all right, and Wade seemed to have a little problem with his arm, just shook it off.
2nd down, 15. Bobby Welch, the quarterback, from the shotgun. Looking to throw. It's a middle screen. And that was a slow developing play. Kind of looked like a gym class screen there. Looked like the blockers were set out there, but the problem was they're all standing in the same place. Robert Day made the catch and just kind of thudded to the ground.
And fortunately for the Golden Bears, a receiver came down and that hits a lineman. You've got an ineligible receiver. So a little mix-up there. Thought they were going back to the old Sandlot play. You've got an eligible lineman, throw it to him, but not the case. It just went up there and you got a pile of people standing around.
Bobby Welch looking near side for Banks. No catch. I think he heard footsteps.
Oh, he had him. I think so. Banks just maybe a little wary of catching that football because coming over there, nice pursuit by Mel Graham and Steve Borzik.
Borzik got up limping and headed back to the huddle, and now he'll take a breather on the near side, being escorted off the field. Now he's off on his own power. 8:06 left in the 3rd quarter.
Nice pass by Welch, gee. Had him as soon as Banks got out there in the clear, got the ball right there, threw it beautifully. But I think Banks just didn't want any part of that one with Borzik coming up.
J&J back for Lake County once again. Jackson and Johnson, 30 and 40. Both players explosive runners. Low snap, some bad snaps today. This one gets off, and Jackson will chase it down. He touched it, he scoops it up. At the 40 is Jackson, still on his feet at midfield, and he stepped out of bounds just shy of the midfield stripe. And we have a player down on the far side of the field. Lee Jeffrey Harris is getting up very slowly. We know Mr. Harris has played his heart out this afternoon.
Jackson returned the ball to his own 47.
He was one of the players that helped ride Jackson out of bounds.
From their own 47.
Not really sure. And there is the big man.
Rochester Tate. What a great football name.
6'5", 293, and we hope you got a widescreen.
By the way, Chris Hightower is up here in the booth today, relaying some information to Lake County. Let's take a look at the management and staff here for Lake County while we have a chance. Of course, Rick Starosta is the founder and director of this club in its first year. Sharon Nelson is the co-founder, listed as the director also. Mike Christian is the GM. Janet Christian is the secretary-treasurer. Linda Starosta, the supply manager. Craig Alexson, the public relations coordinator. A thanks to Craig for a lot of pregame information. Mark Lieber is the halftime commentator, and Jim Middaw is the photographer. All in all, a nice afternoon here from North Chicago High School Vikings trying to hoping to add some night games for next year. On 1st and 10, here comes Lake County with a new quarterback. Elmer Smith in at the controls for Lake County. Jerry Bay, the running back, gained maybe a yard on the play. So our first chance for a look at Elmer Smith, a 6 foot, 180-pound quarterback who did his quarterbacking here at North Chicago. This is a familiar field for Elmer.
He was staying on the sidelines warming up a little bit, and I thought we'd see him too, especially with this 18-0 lead. And homecoming for him, back out on the field to show off a little bit of his talent here.
Ray Jones in the ball game, the near side split along with Flea Johnson. Elmer Smith.
He's got some zip on the football too. When we were out checking out their practice a couple nights ago, he was showing that he's got a nice strong arm.
Flag on the play. Greg Flores got a running start and hit the line of scrimmage about the time the snap was made, and bodies flew from there. Let's see if he crossed the plane too early. Yes, he did.
Flag on the play, offside against Jerry. Bring up a second down.
Durka and Reeves in the ball game for the Vikings. 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. Lake County on top by a score of 18-0. Elmer Smith has been out the last 2 weeks with a sore shoulder, and it looks like Elmer's feeling a lot better. Back in for Lake County.
That's it. When we were out at the practice, he wasn't suited up. He was just kind of throwing the ball on the side. He does throw a nice pass. Showed a little zip on that ball. He's a southpaw with it too.
Domino's on the field. Well, you know, sometimes you got to liken first-year efforts. You kind of got to look at them lightheartedly. You know, I remember when the AFL came out, you'd see plays like that.
Might as well
now
just.
they're in parity with the NFL.
Might as well just forget the snap count. Everybody jumping offside. It's gone both ways.
It was a funny-looking play.
To say the least.
Tony Durka wide right. He's joined out there by Andy Reeves. Into the eye, the Lake County Vikings on 2nd and 9. Elmer Smith in at quarterback. Jerry Bay off the option looking to throw. Elmer Smith wide open on the near side. Jerry Bay didn't see him. Bay still on his feet. Jerry Bay at midfield, across midfield to the 45-yard line. And if the intention was to get Elmer Smith open on the near side, they did it. I don't know why the ball wasn't thrown. Maybe Bay figured it was too long of a launch, or plain just didn't see Elmer.
Maybe I think he just looked over and saw Smith having a cup of coffee over there. He was so wide open, he just had time to stand out there. There wasn't much he could do. Bay running all over, trying to get him open so he could get the ball out there, and Smith wide open. He had nothing but green in front of him. He could have just walked into the end zone if the ball got out there, but
it was one of those passes he could have floated too.
Yeah.
Dennis Ruiz in the ball game for Lake County now. Near side split, Tony Durka. Rick Starosta, the tight end right. Flea Johnson, the wide out right. Eldridge and Ruiz. Out of the eye, backfield, 3rd down short. Elmer will keep, and Smith has the 1st down.
Not bad to go with the quarterback sneak just to pick up a yard. Instead, you end up picking up 5. Nice job by Hilty to just blow out right there in the middle to open it up for Smith, who went right over him.
Well, Elmer Smith is a very young man. It seems like not long ago at all I was calling his name out for North Chicago cablecast, so I know Elmer hasn't been out of the pads too long.
And how long ago was that?
We're talking 3-4 years maybe. Smith under center right now, sends Flea Johnson to the near side on 1st and 10. Lake County picked up the 1st down on the sneak. Elmer Smith looking to throw the southpaw in the pocket now, stepping up and unloading. Intercepted at the 5-yard line. The intended receiver on the play was Ray Jones, who made the tackle. And who are we going to give the interception to? Looks like Greg Carter.
Think so. That ball floated up there, and Carter just camped under it, able to come down with it, and not able to return it because the Viking wide receiver down there to at least make the play. So if nothing else, it's like a punt, because now the Golden Bears are deep in their own territory. Turn it over to your defense, see what they can do.
Well, we heard Elmer Smith has had that sore shoulder for the last 2 weeks, so you don't know if it was just a poorly thrown pass or if the shoulder may have been a factor there.
Yeah, it might have. I was expecting to see him maybe come out and, because of the sore shoulder, see if he's going to throw maybe some 10-yard passes, just try to get him back in and open him up, having him throw a bomb.
Well, Steve Borzak gets taking a seat on the sidelines. He's not in at safety right now. Looks like a lot of the players getting in some licks right now with the 18-0 lead. 4:52 left in the third quarter. And a genuinely happy Lake County sideline. Guys are having a good time out there.
I'll tell you, if Smith has a sore shoulder, which he's just coming over, he still threw that ball a long way. Got that ball up there, threw it a good 45 yards.
The Gary Golden Bears, who came over with 22 players on the bus, or the minivan. Heck, you could get 22 in an Aerostar, I think. Bobby Welch at the quarterback. Big hit on the right side. Kind of a rodeo arm tackle up high. Executed by number 60. That's Todd Crayley, the Round Lake product.
Well, that defensive front line has looked good for the Vikings up there today. Plock, Ivy, Crayley, Jones have done a great job. They've been able to string out the runs to the outside, force it back in. They've gotten good penetration to put some pressure on the quarterback. They've done a super job so far today.
Barry Kimbrough in at the defensive back position. Kimbrough will take the man-to-man assignment. Now he'll back off as the screen is thrown to the left. And looked to me like Robert Day.
Robert Day praying to God. They got that one floating to the outside.
Well, had Robert Day made the grab, Todd Crayley was there to throw him to the ground. So that sets up a punting situation. Lee Johnson will head back to the field to receive this punt, where he'll meet up with his partner Dale Jackson. Third quarter clock down to 3:35. Gentry Gale will unload for the Golden Bears of Gary.
They got another player coming on the field.
Gotta wait for him to get down.
That's Flores.
Low snap. Jackson watches the ball go out of bounds about the 47-yard line. So time for Lake County to put some more up. Well, Chip, I know you weren't around here when the Lake County Rifles were around, but when they used to pack Carmel High School, I was a youngster of about 8 to 10, and to me that was the pro team, you know, and that'd be nice if the Lake County Vikings could become that kind of team, because I think the area is ripe for it.
Sure, and I think they'd also like to look forward to playing some night games at home, too. They're trying to search for a field to do so, and it'd be nice to see them be able to get the flow going. We've talked about their 10-year plan that they've wanted to establish and look for, and hopefully they're able to do that. It's going to, as we said, finances are what really comes into play, and hopefully they'll be able to start getting some money in, and they can be able to do things that they'd like to do with night games and other things like that. And they have to pay for a lot of their equipment as well. A lot of players have to take it upon themselves to buy their own equipment. I believe we were told shoulder pads and helmets, so it can be kind of costly, and it'd be nice to see somebody maybe able to pick up some of the finances for the team.
Rick Starosta, the man to contact if you are watching this ball game and want to get involved with the Midwest Football League, more specifically the Lake County Vikings. 18-0 the score, Vikings on top. Elmer Smith still on that quarterback for Lake County, rolling left now. The southpaw throwing now for Durka. Tony Durka, Lake County touchdown.
Nice looking pass from Smith to Durka, just floated out. He came out to the left side, which is his throwing side, and he just floated one up there. Durka coming right under it. He blew right by the defender and made a nice catch and just turned it back in for a touchdown. Nothing really fancy, just looked like a flag pattern as he just slanted out towards the sideline, picked it up, and then turned right back inside for the touchdown.
Well, Tony gave it what we haven't seen in a long time on the Star Channel Sports Channel, just mainly because it's illegal in high school. He gave it a spike. Lake County short one player now for the extra point. They really need to work on that extra point situation. Jogging onto the field for Lake County, Scott Center, number 79, a big 6'3", 285-pound Round Lake resident. Fredericks will try and add the extra point. And they finally get one. So with 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter, Lake County takes the lead. The score, Vikings 26, 25 make that. The Gary Golden Bears nothing. Back after this on Star Channel Sports. Will kick away for Lake County. Happy after finally drilling an extra point. They had had problems with that. The first one successful.
Well, they had troubles with the snap on the first two, and then got one. He shanked one, and then was able to put that one through.
Ball scooped up by Robert Day, the running back to the outside. Robert Day finally ridden out of bounds. Raul Calles came over to make the tackle, the Highland Park resident. 6', 205. Robert Calles on the special teams tackle.
Golden Bears have had some problems trying to take that kickoff, too. That's the second one they've bobbled, and they've had a couple times where when the ball's kicked to them, they were unsure of who was going to take it. Little something for them to work on is going to be that return game on the kickoffs.
Speaking of return, Lake County is going to meet Gary in a couple weeks over in Gary, Indiana. Greg Carter split wide near side. Larry Banks to the top. 1st and 10, Gary Golden Bears. Bobby Welch to the near side for Carter. Greg Carter. Finally brought down by Dale Jackson, but a nice reception.
Jackson tried stripping it from him, thought he came up with it. The official said he was already down, though. Welch, there again, he's throwing a nice pass. It's the second time he's come down this right sideline and looked pretty good throwing the football. He had that incomplete before to Banks, but he threw a beautiful pass to split some defenders, and that one had the receiver wide open, and they're trying to pick on the left side of the Viking defense, it seems.
There's a Panther Pride coat you saw on the sidelines. A Round Lake coat. Todd Crayley, of course, from Round Lake. A couple other players from Round Lake as well. Welch to throw. Robert Day, the intended receiver, out of bounds. It looked as though Larry Banks was open over the middle, but Welch just didn't have the time. The heat was on.
Well, he's got single coverage over there on the right side, and he tried to angle off towards the goalpost, which is your post pattern, and then he wanted to come back towards the sideline. He was going to angle in and then come back. Unfortunately for the Golden Bears, Welch was flush from the pocket and had to just try to dump it off over to Day. Didn't work out, though, with the incomplete.
2nd down and 10. Banks and Carter, their wide receivers once again. The Gary backfield of Robert Day and Andre Miles. Bobby Welch from the shotgun. Over the middle, overthrown. Intended receiver on the play was Gentry Gale. Set up a 3rd and 10.
Mr. Jackson almost had himself a pickoff. That ball way overthrown, and he came just a little bit late. The ball fell right in front of him. Had a shot at it, though, and he also had some open running room if he comes up with that football.
.105 on the third quarter clock. Bobby Welch for Carter. And Carter makes the grab. Nice catch. Coverage on the play for Lake County supplied by like Joe Robinson over there. First and goal for Gary. Welch looking in the end zone. Touchdown, Gary. Larry Banks cradles it in the end zone. And there's a major league spike.
Well, there was single coverage over there with Barry Kimbrough, and that's how it's been throughout. And Banks was able to cut back towards the corner and was able to get the pass right there as the single fan Probably didn't see that.
He's so far away.
He's so far away. Is he saluting that play?
So the score now 26-6. Gary setting up for a kicking extra point. Gentry Gale will try and add. It's a fake. No big surprise there. I don't know who he was throwing the ball to. And 30 seconds remain in the third quarter. 26-6 our score. Lake County will take over from the 20. Larry Golden Bears are finally on the scoreboard. Larry Banks has been a workhorse at that wide receiver position. He's played some defense, and he finally gets himself a touchdown.
And a nice pass by Welch. He's thrown the ball well so far this game, and finally had someone open in the end zone to get it to, and put 6 points on the board.
Jackson and Johnson deep for Lake County. Low driving kick being taken by Jackson at the 20. Jackson a middle return. Finally brought down at about the 32-yard line.
Dale Jackson on the kickoff return for the Vikings.
Darrell Watson the tackle for Gary. Just 19 seconds remaining now in the third quarter.
Jackson returned the kick. Lake County 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Vikings from their own 33.
Elmer Smith still at the helm of the Viking offense. Looked good with that touchdown pass before that he got to Tony Durka. I think we're going to see more of Smith putting the ball up in the air too, even though it's 25-6. I still think they might try to get him a little more time throwing the football.
1st and 10 Lake County. Flea Johnson the near side split out of the I backfield. Elmer Smith hands the ball off to Vince DeVost, who gains about 3 on the play.
Pick up a 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Vikings.
And that'll do it for the third quarter. 25-6, Lake County over Gary. We'll play one more here from North Chicago. Back after this on the Star Channel.
That'll do it for the third.
Lake County Vikings with 3 games left this season. They'll play Gary in Gary on Saturday, October 7th. The Milwaukee Express and the Racine Raiders also left on the Lake County season. Their opening season here in the Midwest Football League. Elmer Smith looking to throw for Starosta. Can't hang on. Rick was only able to get the one hand out there, and he couldn't run under the football. Nice effort both ways.
Would have been a nice one-handed catch if he was able to pull it in, and it was a nice pass by Smith on the run. Sometimes it's really hard to get a good touch on the football when you're on the move like that, and Credit Smith was getting the ball out there, and it looked like Starosta had a shot at it, just a little bit out of his reach, though. But Smith looking good even on the run with the football.
Mike Heredos was the nearest defender, but Starosta had a good 2 strides on Heredos.
We talked to Starosta earlier in the week, and boy, he said it's tough to be part owner of the team as well as being a player himself. Really takes a lot of his time up outside of the work he does during the day.
3rd down 6 for the Vikings. Smith rolling near side now, in trouble. Now he'll dump it off. Vince DeVost got the 1st down. Nice job by Elmer. He got a nice block from big Dwayne Williams to free him up and unload the ball to DeVost.
Oh, heads-up play, because he started out, he wanted to come to his right, but that got shut off, doubled back, and moved towards his left, and that's where he had DeVost and lofted up the little pass to him. But we got a penalty somewhere. We'll have to see what the call is here. One of the numerous amounts of penalties we've had, but I think we kind of expected that coming into this football game. And it looks like it's going to go against Vikings.
You know, talked about Rick Starosta being the owner and player before the year started. I asked him, well, Rick, you going to put the pads on? And he says, you know, no, we talked about this a little earlier. He said, you know, I kind of doubt it. You know, I just want to be an administrator. And sure enough, he's catching passes out there today and looking good.
He's caught a lot of them, too. We talked about that before. He said the key factors in coming back was the fact that they'd promised to get him the ball a lot, and certainly they've done that today.
Well, when you're the owner and you want the ball, I guess you get the
I
ball.
When you say goes, he probably goes in a huddle, makes the calls himself.
3rd down, 11, Lake County. Elmer Smith in trouble in a hurry. Sack time.
Smith, the sack down.
First one of the day for the Golden Bears.
Keith Alexander was in there.
5 on the play. It'll be 4th
Also
down.
5 on the play, a punting situation. A friend of mine one time, he never got to play on the local softball team, so he started his own team. Guy hits $180, but he leads off every game. Fredericks back to punt for Lake County. Oh, he boomed that one.
Nice kick.
Greg Carter will get away from that one, and that ball will cover some ground. Hey, how about Fredericks? He tagged that ball.
Boy, what a kick. Got some good foot into that one and got a little bit of a roll to help him out, but we don't have much of a wind, and that was pretty much all foot. And a nice kick by Frederick.
All the way down to the 15-yard line. 13:05 left in the contest. Not too shabby of a punt. It covered some 65 yards. If he could get consistent with that, he wouldn't be punting for the Lake County Vikings.
You know, because of the new opportunities opening up with the new World Football League that should be coming away pretty soon, you know, some of these guys still have that dream to try to move on, not only play here, but possibly get recognized by somebody that might be out looking for talent and maybe play on a professional level with that World Football League. I believe they have teams in San Antonio. They're trying to get some in Europe, I believe. So maybe hoping to further their career a little bit more.
Bobby Welch trying to get some back for Gary, looking for Carter. No catch.
Welch's pass.
Kimbrough on the coverage.
Number 2, Carter.
Well, that would have been a tough catch, too, because Carter doubling all the way back around, swinging his body to try to come and catch that football. Would have been a nice acrobatic catch, and even with the clock stopped because of the incomplete, they're going to the no-huddle offense.
Greg Carter split to the top once again. Larry Banks near side. Looking for Gloyd. Got him. No catch. He was out of bounds.
Welch's pass.
3rd down, 10 now.
And surprised with the
It'll be 3rd down, 10 yards.
no-huddle offense, despite the fact that the clock is stopped.
Welch going deep. Has a man
He's
open.
got him.
Carter. Look out. Kimbrough will chase Carter. 10-5 touchdown. We knew he could fly, and Welch finally put it on him.
Oh, what a nice pass by Welch and catch by Carter, right in stride. Never had to break to come back for the football, and that fan is so happy he's going to write that one down, too, because that happened in front of him, so we got to see that one. 85-yard touchdown pass from Welch to Carter. Beautiful execution all the way through, just a straight post pattern, executed perfectly.
Well, he just put a burst on Barry Kimbrough, and that was history. 25-12 now the score. And somebody on the near side is a little ticked off. Gentry Gale to add the extra point. They'll kick it, and it's blocked. 12:06 remaining in the contest. 25 are going to try to get the ball back, and they don't. They go to the air. They back up Lee Johnson. And Jackson will flag it down at the goal line. Jackson with a middle return. Flags down. Jackson tries to cut to the outside at the 20. Somebody came flying out of the pile a good second after the play was over, but the flag was not for that. It was thrown well before that, and we'll see what it's all about.
I'll stop calling the penalties. Stop with the play calling. That's what I thought, too. I figured they would have gone for the onside, but they decided to go long. And
Well, it sure faked out the J&J brothers back there, Jackson and Johnson.
Because they played up for it, too.
They sure
That's what
did.
they played for. So we can't feel too bad because somebody else thought the same way we did.
Well, they're backing it up to the 10-yard line.
Penalty pushes the Vikings back to their own 10-yard line.
Saturday, October 28th, Lake County will play the Orland Palos Force. The game was originally scheduled for September 9th, but that will be one of the final games for Lake County. We got, as I mentioned, along with the Orland Palos game, they'll play Gary, Milwaukee, and Racine to close out the season. Elmer Smith still in at quarterback, 1st and 10. 25-12 our score. Lake County on top with the football. Jerry Bay back in the lineup. Surges ahead, and yellow flags dotting the green playing surface.
Boy, that's been the norm for plays to go through and have a penalty flag thrown. Just another one of the many.
Today's game got underway at 3 o'clock. It is now 5:35, so with an abundance of passes, this game has been a lengthy one. I'm running out of descriptive terms, Chip. You need to help me out here.
Well, I brought the thesaurus along this week so we can sit around and...
Flags dotting the playing surface, that's weak. First down,
blanketing
5.
the field.
Peppering, that's good.
From Arnie in the truck.
Hey,
Peppering.
Arnie, thanks for that one. Fleet Johnson in motion to the near side. Elmer Smith the handoff. Jerry Bay met immediately by the wide body. Rochester Tate on the tackle. 293. The poundage of Rochester Tate. Big guy.
To say the least. 293, good size at 6'5", too. They've got him listed as a defensive tackle and defensive end, and if you're going to put somebody that size as an end, got to have a little bit of mobility, and the Vikings have done a good job of holding him to where he hasn't been really much of a factor getting in and causing problems for the quarterbacks when they drop back to pass, nor has he disrupted the running game that much.
Elmer Smith from the shotgun. 2nd and 5. Smith off to the far side to Tony Durka. And Durka getting some good lead blocking, has first down yardage. Well, you know, when you said Rochester Tate listed as a defensive tackle end, when they do that, they only have 10 players on the field because Rochester covers them both.
You tell him that. I'm not gonna.
I'm glad he lives in Gary. He'll never see this dog again. Nah, he's a tough guy. He's playing a good game. Just a big guy. I'm sure he gets kidded about his size, but if he wasn't that big, he wouldn't be playing on the nose. He's on the nose right now, awaiting Hilty to come out over the football. 1st and 10. Ray Jones to the right. Elmer Smith sets his backfield in the eye. Eldridge the up back. Eldridge has mostly been a blocking back today. He moved, no flag on the play. Shifting directions is Dennis Ruiz. Yeah, Ruiz gains about 5 on the play.
I think the Golden Bear coach wanted a flag because the official, as soon as the play started to go, turned to him and said no. And we expected a flag, I think, on that one, too.
Well, with the running play, the clock continues to run. 8-yard gain.
From their own 38-yard line.
Well, you never know what could happen the way the Golden Bears offense has looked in the latter part of the 3rd quarter and so far here in the 4th. A couple of turnovers, then get themselves right back into this ball game, especially with quarterback Bobby Welch doing the job.
2nd down and a long 3. We're down to 9 minutes in this football contest.
Officials throwing those flags for height now.
A walk-off against Lake County. Procedure. Set up a 2nd down and 8 situation.
Watching the back judge throw that one, I mean, it's not just the thing to pull it out of your pocket and dump it on the ground anymore. You can put that thing in the air a good 20 feet.
Competition flags.
But their arms got to be tired. They've thrown a lot of those today.
Eldridge gets the call. I just got done saying Eldridge hasn't carried the ball much, and ahead he goes for a gain of a couple.
And Scott Center just moved out a couple of people. He just came blowing out of there and knocked a few people back.
Pickup of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd down. 4 yards to go for Lake County first down.
3rd and 4 for the Vikings. 8:09 remaining in the ball game.
Center comes in at 6'3", 285. And he really did a good job leading that play. He came out and hit and knocked back a couple of Golden Bear defensive linemen.
Durka, the receiver, split left. Flea Johnson into the right. Eldridge, the up back. Ruiz back in at the tail position. Elmer rolling near side. Will keep this football and head out of bounds wisely after he picked up the first.
Good piece of running. He had the opening on the right. Went right to it. Looks like they're going to mark him short, though.
Oh, I thought sure he got past the necessary yardage. Well, not to, I take back the wisely. Now it looks like they're going to want to take. No, they're going to take a timeout.
It'll be 4th down and about a yard to go for the Vikings.
See what happens. The way the offense has been moving today, you'd think they'd go for it, too, because they've been able to pick up an average of, I'd say, about 3.5 yards a carry.
Lake County sidelines. Al Clark trying to decide what to do here. I'd like to remind our viewers that Tuesday nights at 8, Thursday afternoons at 1:30, Saturday mornings at 10:30, U.S. Cable Star Channel Sports football coverage. This week the Lake County Vikings also in the picture. But generally these football games get run 3 times a week, and we even have a couple live ones thrown in there. Also 5:30, weeknights, Lake County Live. Diane Shepis and Michelle Globus with local news and features. And Mondays we have highlights of our sporting events from the weekend, so we'll have some Lake County Vikings highlights on Monday along with North Chicago Warren contest from Friday night. North Chicago a big winner over Warren at Warren High School. 4th and a yard, Lake County going for it. Let's see if Elmer keeps. Dwayne Williams in the backfield. At fullback, maybe the big fullback will get the call. Nope, they hand it to Bay. Flag's in the air. Bay has enough for the first down, but we'll wait on that flag.
What do you know? There's a penalty. Surprise, surprise. We got another one.
Well, I wanted to see Big Dwayne get the handoff.
We watched him at practice a couple nights ago on a few draw plays. Looked pretty good from the backfield. And we got motion against the Vikings. Said I'd like to see him get his hands on the football, too.
Well, Dwayne against one of the smaller defensive backs would be a real mismatch in the open field.
You know, if they give it to him, you might never see the football again.
Well, now the punting unit out of the field for Lake County because another procedure penalty on the Vikings makes it a 4th and 5 situation. Actually, Bay picked up more than 5 yards on that play, but Coach Clark electing to punt the football, turn it over to his defense. Fredericks will kick. He really boomed one last time, and this one is not as well hit, but will take a Lake County bounce and be fielded by a very game Greg Flores, who paid for it.
Well, it took the bigger hit on that one was number 12, Bob Akers. He came over, and once Flores took it, he went down, and Akers came up and was upended when Akers came down with the football, and they've got some pretty good field position.
Well, it's one of those things when you're on the special teams and you're running down and you're saying, I think he's going to field it. Yeah, he's going to field it. And then he blasted him. Little John Madden there, if you don't mind. This has been a long football game. 6:53 left.
It'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go for Gary from their own 36-yard line.
25-12, Lake County over the Gary Golden Bears. Bobby Welch has a good arm. Inside handoff to Andre Miles. Miles to the far side, 40. Collared out of bounds. Jackson threw him out about the 44. Pretty good gain for Gary.
Keeps the drive moving. They're starting to put it together. First run we've seen in a while, and out of the shotgun, that's what it was. The shotgun was just a decoy to make the Vikings believe they were going to throw the football, and now we've got a delay here.
Second down and 1.5 yards. Banks and Carter to the wide receivers left and right. Miles and Day in the Gary backfield. Welch on what appeared to be a keeper for first down yardage. Good deception in the Gary backfield.
Well, they picked up the first and they keep the drive moving. They'll go without the huddle and try to move the ball farther down. Sideline patterns have been effective, and it's also been able to get them complete and get the ball out of bounds, and that's what we're going to be looking for here.
Welch from the gun. Near side. Intended for Banks. Coverage on the play supplied by Mike Wade.
That's what they've been successful with so far. Just having the wide receivers on the outside just go down, turn around, or get near the sidelines, a little down and out, and that's what they've been working with.
On 2nd and 10, Welch will go under center with 5:51 left in the ballgame. Welch on the back pedal now. Welch going deep for Carter. 3 Vikings on the coverage.
And Welch is lucky that one didn't get picked off. Looks like he underthrew a little bit, and the triple coverage was a mistake too. Fortunately for him, he didn't get that one picked off.
Colin Slowick was back on the coverage along with Jackson. Third down, 10. From the shotgun. Bobby Welch. Short drop that time. Oh, big hit. The catch was made.
They're going to mark him for the first too, I think it is. Yeah, he got it.
Lee Jeffrey Harris on the catch, but he paid for it.
Sure did. Got hit right from behind, but got the first down right at the marker too.
From the Lake County 40, Gary marching. Welch for Harris again. And that ball will go back to the original line of scrimmage. Ball kept in bounds, so the clock will continue to tick with 5 minutes left.
Harris should have looked at trying to get that ball outside so he can get out of bounds and stop the clock so they can get their offense back out. The clock really becomes the Golden Bears' opponent right now as they got to put points up in a hurry.
Timeout on the field. We will take a timeout as well. 25-12 was your score. Lake County over the Gary Golden Bears. 4:57 remains. Bobby Welch, the quarterback. From the shotgun, everybody went but the center. Orlando Terry did not snap the ball. Evidently, the Vikings were the culprit on the play. It looked to me like everybody went, but must have been the Vikings crossing the plane.
I don't know who they're going to call that one out, so pretty much take your pick.
Fumble. Welch in trouble. Forward lateral, but it's behind the line. And Robert Day chews a little of it back, but he's about 5 yards shy of the original line of scrimmage. Loss of 3 or 4 on the play.
First one in was Raul Callis, a 6', 205-pounder out of Highland Park. Good pursuit, broke that one up as soon as he saw the ball down on the ground. Gave him enough time to get in there and put some pressure on Welch.
Lake County front 4 digging in on 3rd 15. Welch over the middle. Oh, a nice play by Colin Slowick. Gloyd wanted an interference, but Slowick did a nice job in the defensive back position.
Just came flying right over and batted the ball down. Good breakup of the pass.
Bring up 4th down and 15 yards to go for Gary.
4th and 15 with 4:10 left on the game clock. Gary with no other alternative than to go for it. Across the middle, picked off this time by Slowick. Slowick to the far side 50 and knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Flags in the air.
Well, it came close last time. This time he gets a shot at it right in his hands. A nice pickoff. Turns it back upfield. We got a flag down and an ineligible receiver downfield. Or no.
That's right.
That's right. They just pointed in the direction of the Vikings. Pointed the wrong way. Should have gone against the Golden Bears, but
At the Gary 41-yard line.
Elmer Smith still in at quarterback. Let's see if Lake County elects to chew it up on the ground here or get Smith some more throws. Vince DeVost joins Eldridge in the Lake County backfield. DeVost gets the handoff. DeVost wrapped up immediately. Frank Pfister on the tackle. Good game out of Frank today.
DeVos, the ball carrier for the Vikings.
Game clock down to 3:39 and ticking.
It'll be 2nd down, 13 yards to go for the Vikings.
Eldridge and DeVos shifting into the eye on 2nd and 14. Fumble on the play. Smith coming up with it. Smith on the roll. Plants for Fleet Johnson. Overshot him by 5 yards, and 3 Lake County receivers throw up their hands and say, I was open. It's kind of like on the sandlot when you run back and you say, I was open.
well, he had Johnson open too, just overthrew the football. Johnson had his receiver or his defender beat on that one, just a little bit over.
Starosta was open along about the 20-yard line, and so was Ray Jones in the end zone.
But I guess when you can take your pick of whoever you want to throw it to, take it. You might as well go with the guy closest to the end zone and try to get it to him.
3 minutes left in the ball game. 3rd and 14 Lake County. Tony Durka back in. Splits wide left. Rick Starosta to the near side. Elmer Smith from the shotgun. And I don't know what happened there. That flag was thrown near the football. I think we might have had some, they're going to call it procedure. I thought initially some kind of verbal taunt or something. But, you know, because I couldn't understand. It didn't look like anybody moved. Set up a 3rd and 20. Most of the fans have filed out of here on the near side, and still the super fan across the way remains.
He stayed. He's going to stay till the end.
Smith,
And here it goes
shotgun
again.
snap. DeVos brought down from behind. 10 yards shy of the first down.
But Mr. Official has found another infraction.
Pickup of about 8 yards on the play.
It looks like it's going to go against the Vikings, too.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got 5 officials out there, and those guys are doing their job, you know, until the final gun is sounded. They're alert young men.
Sure are, and got a keen eye, I'd have to say, too.
Andy Reeves back in for Lake County, running in the play. Exit Tony Durka.
It'll be 3rd down, 24 yards to go for the Vikings.
Elmer Smith from the shotgun, 3rd down 20. Gary looking blitz. Low snap fielded by Smith. Complete to Reeves. Andy Reeves to the middle, brought down by the ankles. Nice catch on the play, and Gloyd makes the nice tackle from behind.
Gives him more room to come out and punt the football.
Pick up about 10 yards on the play. It'll be 4th down, about 15 for the Vikings.
4th and 15, 10-yard gain on the play, and Fredericks will come in to try and put Gary in a hole for the remaining 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
And they'll try to take up as much of the time as possible, too, before they walk up to the line of scrimmage and snap the football.
That's 2-minute warning.
And the 2-minute warning is executed, and with the break in the action, Chip Egan, how about a recap of today's scoring?
Okay, it started off in the second half. It was 18-0. Lake County with the lead. They were able to get that lead after in the first, a 6-0 lead at 7:13. Mike Monday to Ray Jones. Point after no good. Then in the second quarter with 4:42 left, Monday on a 41-yard touchdown run made it 12-0. And a 50-yard touchdown pass from Monday to Andy Reeves. Reeves made it 18-0. And then we go into the second half in the third quarter. Elmer Smith took over the controls, threw a 47-yard touchdown pass to Tony Durka. The point after was good, and that made the score 25-0. 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. An 8-yard touchdown pass from Welch to Banks. The point after was no good. The Gary Golden Bears got on the board, made the score 25-6. And then in the fourth quarter with 12:06 to go, Welch hit Banks with an 85-yard touchdown pass. The catch and the point after was no good. That made the score 25-12, which is how we stand right now with 2 minutes left to go.
Well done, amigo. Nice kick by Fredericks once again, and that ball is angling to the corner and will be down inside the 5-yard line. Great job by Fredericks. He's had some problems on the extra points, but he's nailing these punts.
And those problems he's had on the extra points were through the snap and the placement. The first two, when we go back, just bounced through the hands of Starosta, who was the holder. And they had problems with that. And then the first one he had a chance to kick, he shanked and missed that one, but then made good on his fourth attempt. So I think technically we could say he's 1 for 2.
Okay, I'll buy that. I don't think he'll have any problem with
No,
that.
I think he'd take that too.
Larry Banks splitting to the near side. Gregory Carter split wide right with 1:45 left in the ball game. Bobby Welch will take the shotgun snap from his own end zone, dishes it off to Andre Miles, and Miles stays in bounds.
Good job by Willie Boyd to come over and keep him in bounds to keep the clock running. Can't afford to let him get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Boyd, a local product, Zion Benton High School.
Welch's pass, complete for a gain of about 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for Gary.
2nd and 9 for Gary. Welch goes hands under center this time, looking for Carter on a quick outs. Got him at the 10. Carter spinning ahead. Carter at the 20. Or he's flagged down by a hustling Chris Callamore, who came a long way to make that tackle.
And Carter got out of bounds on that one too. Stopped the clock.
Carter brought down by number 89, Chris
Well,
Calhoun.
Carter, a real good name for a receiver, by the way, does a lot of things that another Carter does.
Well, that other Carter also wears the jersey of the Vikings too.
Around 19.
Unfortunately, he was shut down by the Chicago Bears. Boy, a lot of tie-ins.
Hey,
On
good
that.
segues.
Write these down. If you're watching at home, write these down.
1:08 left. Bobby Welch. Over the middle. For Harris, you can't hang on.
Oh, he knew it too. He's unhappy. That ball went right through his hands.
Well, Lee Jeffrey Harris has had a good ball game today, and I think that's probably the first mistake
For Harris.
that stands out that he's made. He's played a good football game.
Now Welch put that ball right there. It just went right through his hands. And Welch has looked good. He's throwing some nice footballs today. Got that big touchdown pass before and is throwing some nice passes to the out.
Welch got clubbed after he threw the ball. Picked off by Jackson. Jackson running the other way now. Jackson will just kill some clock. He fumbles the football. And I think Gary got it back.
We don't know. That'd be a heck of a gain if they got it back. Pile of bodies down there.
First down, Gary.
You have to thank God that Ronnie Tate's not in there, the 6'5", 293-pounder. We had a complete mess.
Check that. First down, Lake County. Initially, the referee said Gary had it, but the last man off the pile, Carlos Bright, a Washington State product who went to high school at a high school called Medical Lake, and he played his football, folks, at Arizona State. First and 10 Vikings, 42 seconds left. Chip, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for your service as a color commentator. 25-12 looks like the Vikes are going to cruise.
Looks like they will. They've looked good throughout the game, and we'll look to move on to their next game coming up.
Dan Blanchard, Michelle Green, and Greg Smith on the cameras today. Scott Miller has been our director. Rita Beyer in the truck with Scott. Dennis Ruiz in the truck helping Scott with video matters. Dennis Ruiz tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Second and 12.
And a timeout's been called.
Timeout on the field. The executive producer of Star Channel Sports is Paul Ashley and Diane Shepis. As you look at Elmer Smith on the sideline. Who called that timeout?
I'm not sure. I think that might have been the Vikings called that timeout. No, I think it was the Gary Golden Bears called it. And the way they've delayed the games with penalties and timeouts.
Give me a
it's
good
starting to get dark.
Give me a good sports cliche about it ain't over. Pick one out.
I could give you one for it is over. The fat lady's going to start singing.
Okay.
Or we could have the fan across the way start singing.
Nah,
we'll ask him.
It in. Second and 11. Out of the eye backfield, Elmer Smith. Superfly. Gregory Carter. Came from nowhere. Get on the phone to Tim Weigel.
Oh.
We needed a theme. We needed a theme song for that one. Second and 6 now. 31 seconds left. Gregory Carter backing up to the 30 now. And this time the plane is broken again by number 22, Greg Flores.
He didn't get the height that Carter got in the last one, but and we've got a fight.
A skirmish. You knew it was going to happen.
I think somebody's jealous that they couldn't get off the ground like Carter. And
well, football fights are always very constructive, and they always prove their point out there. You can always get some good licks in, too, because there's really no protective equipment at all. 28 seconds left. 25-12, Lake County Vikings. If you just joined us, you missed a lot of football. I'm talking a lot of football.
And they've called the game.
That's it.
That's it.
Little bad blood boiling. Wipe the 28 seconds off the board. Let's go home, everyone. I am Dan Capasso, thanking you for joining Chip Egan and myself. The final score is on your screen. Executive producers of Channel 30 Sports are Paul Ashley and Diane Shepis. Producer Scott Miller, yours truly, Scott Miller, the remote facilities director today. Audio engineer by John Where You Been Barluato. Cameras by Dan Blanchard, Michelle Green, and Greg Smith. Graphics by Rita Beyer, and a special thanks to North Chicago Community High School for the playing surface today and their hospitality. Once again, this has been a Star Channel Sports presentation. Good afternoon.